Hi everybody, it's Caroline here from craftycarolinecreates.blogspot.co.uk. Thanks for pressing play on the video. What I have for you today is a lovely matchbox style gift box. It's quite a decent size actually. It's 4.5 inches by 3 inches and it's over an 1.5 inches deep. So it's a really good size gift box. But what it does do is allows me to show you a brand new stamp set from Stampin' Up, which is what I made, this beautiful pattern paper on the wrap using. That is this lovely new set called Garden in Bloom. If you're a fan of Painted Petals, which is just retired, I think this will be a stamp set that you will love. It's a multi-step stamp set, so you can build up the different colours and the different shades. It's really good. I'm going to use it in a very simple way today to make this beautiful box. Okay. Just put those one to one side, and what we will do is we will start by making our tray. So I have a piece of, this is basic black cardstock, and it measures 8.5 inches, sorry, just checking my measurements, 8.5 inches by 7 inches, and we are going to score this on all 4 sides at 7/8 of an inch and 2 inches. Okay, so just score it along those 2 lines, 7/8 of an inch and 2 inch, then rotate it 90 degrees and score it again, and then a last time 7/8 of an inch and 2 inches. Okay. What this will allow us to do is, you can see in the example, the sides here are reinforced, which just gives them that extra bit of strength so that when you're pulling it out, it slides out quite easily and it gives a bit more rigidity to your box. Okay. Put the scoreboard away. And now I have my bone folder. Or scoring tool as I'm using from the envelope punch board. I'm just going to burnish, fold and burnish along all of those score lines. I do find that basic black is quite a stiff cardstock. I'm not sure if anybody else finds that. So just make sure you do give those all those score lines a really good burnish so that they are nice and crisp. Okay. Here's our last one coming up there now. Okay, we're going to bring in the scissors and we're just going to do a bit of a funny sort of cut, which will make sure that we can do that nice reinforcement. So first I'm going to cut all the way up to that first line, then I'm going to cut up to that second score line there. Okay, and then I want to take off that double strip on one side and just the base there. So basically cutting an L shape from the edge and then making a flap. So I'm just going to do that on all of the edges. Now if you have ever made a sort of a reinforced box before, you will have seen me do this, or you'll have done it yourself. If you aren't sure, just watch that bit of the video back again and you will see how it works. It's quite straightforward. Okay, and the last one here. Cut off those, and that one there as well. Oh, not quite good enough of that one. There we go. Okay, now I'm just going to put a little chamfer on the edge of each of these flaps. It just means that when we fold it up, it just makes it a little bit easier to put together. And here, and here, here, and here, and then we are also going to notch out these flaps here. Again, all this is doing is making it easier for us to fold up the box, and when we fold it up it will give it a slightly more professional appearance. Okay. Oh, last one, I thought I'd done them all. One more to do. Okay, now to fold the box up I'm going to use a wee bit of Tombow. So I'm just going to push this on the underside of each of these flaps. You can use fuse or anything you like. It just needs to be something a bit stronger than snail to make sure it will hold this together. Okay, so then I'm just going to fold those edges up like that. So you can see we've got these flaps that are still sticking up. We will fold those over in a moment. So just using Tombows, I'm just going to hold it for a second to make sure that that has stuck. So you can see we've got a box base, but we've got these little flaps sticking up. And I'm just going to put, it's a bit difficult for you to see maybe, but I'm just going to put a bit of Tombow on the inside of each of those flaps. I'm going to do them one at a time so you'll be able to see the last one a little bit better. And then I'm just going to fold those over like that inside. Can you see that? Oh, hold it for a second longer. And then I'm going to put some more Tombow along this strip. There we go, my Tombow's running out. Good job, I have stocked up. Okay, a little bit more along that side, fold that over there. A little bit along this box here, and fold that in as well. Okay, so just hold those in place for a second till the Tombow takes hold. And as I said, I do find that basic black is a bit of a stiffer cardstock, so you do need to, we do need to hold that in place. Okay, so that's our tray made up. The only thing we need to do is, can you see how I've got a little cute reinforcement there. So this one is, I'll bring it into camera, this one is Melon Mambo. Decided for this one, I'm going to go with another lovely bright colour, Pacific Point. So I should have, here it is, a scrap of Pacific Point cardstock. I'm going to start by using my handheld punch to punch a hole into that cardstock there, like that. And then I'm going to stamp around that using the 1/2 inch circle punch. And punch that hole out. So I punched out the hole that I just made, okay. Again, I'm going to use a tiny little bit of Tombow on the back of this circle. Just checking you can still see that. Okay. Going to lift that up and just going to position that like that on the box, okay. And then I'm going to use my handheld again, and I'm going to line up through the centre of that hole we already punched and punch it through. Can you see that? Through the black part of the box as well. So we have then a hole that goes all the way through our box. And I'm going to use, what I've used here is, this is also a brand new product. It is, can you see that? It's a lovely stitched ribbon, which is also a brand new product that has launched, again in the matching Pacific Point. Just going to grab the scoring tool from the punch board. I'm just going to use that, going through from the back, through that hole I've just made, to pull some of that ribbon through there, okay. How lovely does that look? I like this ribbon a lot actually, it's very pretty. And the colours they've brought it out in are gorgeous as well. So I'm just going to pull that through and then cut this off with my scissors. Move those out of the way and tie this into a knot quite close to, as close as you can sort of get it to the box as you can. Oh. Try it again. Tie that off into a knot, and you can just see how that will then pull through to become your pull for opening the box. And we can trim off the edge of our ribbon there. And that is the tray made. So now all we need to do is make the wrap, which is where this lovely stamp set comes in. As I said, to make our sleeve, we're going to use this fabulous stamp set. We're going to use these two images at the bottom. So you can see what I've done is I've stamped the lovely watercolour image first, and then I've stamped this black outline all the way around. As I said, on this one I used Melon Mambo, and we're going to use Pacific Point for the example now. So what I've got is a piece of Whisper White cardstock. This measures 9 1/4 inches by 4 5/8 of an inch. And I've actually already done a lot of the work, so you don't have to sit and watch me stamp. So I've stamped this solid image in Pacific Point. And then I've gone back around and stamped the outline in Stays on Black, which I have here. Okay, still do have one left to finish. This flower, you can see, doesn't have that edge stamped around it yet. So I've mounted my stamp set. This is I'm using the photopolymer one because that makes it super easy to line up around the edges. But as it's a photopolymer set, I do need to put a foam mat underneath it. So I'm using a piercing mat, which works perfectly. Okay. What I like about this stamp set, if you can see, is it's not so perfect. It's not a perfect stamp outline. Well, it's a perfect stamp, but it's not a perfect outline around the stamp below, which I think lends itself really well to photopolymer because you don't have to worry too much about lining it up, even though the photopolymer set does make it super easy to do that. Okay, so I'm just going to line that up over the top. As you can see there, you can look through the stamp onto the image below, get right to the top of it, and then press down, and there, oh, that was lucky. You can see how we've put that lovely outline on there. Okay, I'm just going to put my Stays on away before it dries out, and we'll move this stamp set and everything over here, and we're going to start scoring this stamped piece. I'm going to use a stamping trimmer actually, because in order to get the really lovely tight fit that you want around the box itself, you want to score on the 1/16 of an inch, and using the scoreboard on the 1/8 of an inch just makes it a bit too loose really. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my trimmer. I'm going to push this dark cutting blade right out of the way so I don't use that by mistake. I'm sure every crafter has done that quite a lot. And we're going to use the light grey scoring tool. Just move that up so you can see it. So I'm just going to line the edge of this up along the measurements along this side. So we're going to start with 2.5 inches. And just use the scoring tool there. Then this is the 1/16 of an inch, so 3 11/16 of an inch. So it's 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep, just checking I have that right. Scoring that 3 11/16 of an inch. Then we're going to go on along to 6 3/4 of an inch, which is just after the fold out section. And then 7 7/8 of an inch for our last one. Just there. Okay. Okay, and that's our scoring done. Put the trimmer out of the way. Bone folder again, we're just going to quickly fold along those score lines we have just made. Okay. And then just bring in your base box, and you can see how this wraps round there really perfectly. Okay. See that? What I'm then going to do is bring in some fuse. If you watched my last video, I said that this was nearly running out. It did run out. So we have changed our cartridge, but believe me, it has lasted a ridiculously long time. So I'm just going to put a few rows of fuse along there. I'm going to wrap round my wrap. I'm going to use the box as a guide to get this perfect. And lining it up at either end. Okay. And there we go. And that should also allow us to pull that out. I'm going to pull out the box and put my bone folder in the gap and use that to smooth out and make sure that's stuck. Okay. So the seam is obviously going to go on the bottom. You just need to slide that in, and you can see that perfectly fits. It's not too tight and it's not too slack, and just allows us to slide that in and out. So there we go, 2 really beautiful, really simple Matchbox style gift boxes using the fabulous new Garden in Bloom stamp set from Stampin' Up. Thanks for watching, bye bye.